Enjoy the silence. I'll pretend like I hear you laughing at my jokes and stuff. We're gonna attempt to work towards maybe side crow today, because I know all of you guys and I know what you can do. But definitely a bunch of twisting and building up into it. So, you know, do what you can do if twisting is not your thing or you have any back issues. Never push it. Just take a moment, another few moments to check in. Start to become more aware of the breath as well as the body. Visualize how the breath moves, how it fills you up, creates length and space when you inhale. And when you exhale, it's just a chance to maybe let go of something, just empty out. I know it's hard to let go with just a breath, but it's just a metaphor for what's going on. This breath brings us back into focus. Oh, there's Bob and Barb. I was missing you guys. A few more breaths. Really just melt here into the mat. The blocks. And start to begin or start to come to a place where you can remove the blocks if you're up on blocks. So just slowly lowering back down, staying on your back, just gently lifting yourself up to move the blocks aside. And then hugging your knees in towards your chest. Hi, Julie. And bring your big toes to touch and your heels apart. Let your knees separate so you're kind of in an upside down child's pose position. You can wrap your arms around your legs, maybe hold on to your fingers or wrist. Just gently compress your thighs down toward the outside of your rib cage. And from here, bring yourself into happy baby. So separate the feet, turn the soles of the feet up toward the ceiling. Hold on to the outside edges of the feet. Ricardo, just if you intentionally have your camera off, that's totally cool. And if you didn't know, your camera's off. One more inhale here. And exhale, set your feet back down onto the mat. Take your right ankle, cross it over your left thigh in a figure 4 shape. We'll take thread the needle. Just Holding on gently behind the left thigh, giving a little easy resistance. Flex your right foot and really focus on pressing the right knee to the right, or actually like slightly forward, I guess would be more than even to the right, but you're pressing your back of your right knee forward. Saying hello to the hips. One more inhale here. Exhale, release and switch sides. So easy as that. Take the right foot down, bring the left leg on top, flex the left foot, press it open to the left. And just take as much as you need. So if this is good, this is good. If you want to shift your hips like about a ½ inch toward the right to get in a little deeper, you can go there. And one more inhale. Exhale, hugging both knees back in, and we'll take an easy twist. So this will be our first little twist of the day. Shift your hips to the right, drop your knees to the left. Totally supported. Stretch your right arm out to the right, turn your palm to face up. If you guys joined a couple minutes late, which isn't even late in this new world, we're going to just be doing an array of twists today, from the simple twist to a little more challenging, maybe an arm balance, nothing crazy, nothing you haven't seen before based on the crowd I'm looking at. Lengthen your left hip, your top hip toward the front of the room as you soften your right shoulder down. That's your right hip, I guess, is the top hip. So, yeah. Take an inhale. Exhale, back up through center. Readjust, shift your hips to the left. Draw your knees in and drop them to the right. Oh, reach out through your left arm. I just got a nice little crack. Keep breathing. It goes without saying, but especially in twists, the breath is very helpful to create the space that you need when you're twisting. And in twists, also important thing to think about, and we'll talk about it as we go through classes, to keep the hips in alignment and let the twist actually come from that mid upper back, maybe a little bit of the low back, but instead of letting the hips do the work. One more inhale. Exhale, come back through center. We'll talk, or I'll talk, but I miss you guys talking. Hug your knees in. Take a few easy rocks up and down on your spine, and then we'll meet in a seated position. So just rock and roll. Give yourself a nice little back massage. And then we'll come to seated. So I'm going to turn just to face you, but stay facing how you are. Sit up tall. Lengthen up through the spine. Ground down through the sit bones. Eyes can be open or closed. Bring your hands to rest on top of your kneecaps. So just sort of folding onto the front of your knees. We'll take a few seated cat-cows. Inhaling here, drawing the shoulders back, heart through. And exhale, rounding in. Again, inhale, just like cow, arching the spine, shoulders back. Exhale like cat, rounding in, spreading the shoulder blades, navel to spine. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. One more round like that. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back up to center and then spread your arms wide this time. Exhale, round in, let your fingertips touch. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale. Nice, you guys. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale, when your fingertips touch, clasp your fingers webbing to webbing, and then flip your palms toward the front of your space. Stay for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that grip. Just start to sit up, raising your arms over your head, biceps alongside your ears. Inhale again, just to get even taller. Exhale, twist your torso to your right. And then when you get as far as you can go, release your left hand to your right knee, your right fingers behind your back, and take an easy twist here. So inhale to sit up taller. And exhale, draw the shoulders back. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale, bring it out. One more inhale. Exhale, return to center, and we'll do the other side and we'll start the same way. So inhaling, reach your arms up, clasp your fingers, flip your palms, draw your low ribs in, twist your torso to your left, and then release your right hand across and your left fingers behind. Inhale, sit forward and taller, soften your shoulders. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, return to center. And come to stand all the way up. Let's stand up. Come to standing at the top of your mat in Tadasana. Check your feet about hip distance and parallel. Arms down by your sides. You can turn your palms forward or toward your thighs. Just close your eyes for a moment. Feel out your space, root down evenly through your feet. Draw your inner thighs back, draw your tailbone down and belly in. Just stand tall. Try to get a little extra lift through the sternum, through the back of the rib cage. Long neck. Take an inhale through your nose. Exhale, send it out. Couple half Surya A's from here. Inhale, reach up, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. And again, inhale, reach up, look up, belly in. Exhale, slow dive forward. Oh, another kitty. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause here. Inhale, reach up. With your right hand, take your left wrist, stretch long first, and then side bend to the right. A nice long side bend. Keep your feet pressing down and then maybe squeezing in slightly. That's my favorite. Inhale, come up through center. Switch your clasp. Stretch long, draw the belly in, and then bend to the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, and just hang out here for a couple of breaths. So soften your knees any amount. Check your feet that they're parallel, and if you wanted them wider than hip distance, you could. Let the head hang. Maybe sway side to side, or hold opposite elbows, or gently touch the back of your head. Shift your weight side to side, forward and back. Find that spot where the hips can rest over the heels. Another breath in. Exhale, release your hands to the mat and step back to plank and just hold plank. So pressing your hands down into the mat, step back 1 foot at a time. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Check to see that your wrist creases are on the same line, and then feel that squeezing in the inner edges of your hands, thumb to thumb. Wrapping your upper arms back, drawing your low belly and ribs in. Stay for 4, 3, don't drop your head, 2, 1, downward facing dog, stretch it up the back. And then take this first down dog just to get some of the wiggles out, to pedal, stretch any way that feels good. Maybe that's just staying in stillness and working on your alignment. Once you're feeling even, come into stillness. Press forward out into all 10 fingers and back through the heels. Keep lifting the belly and low ribs in. They like to drop. Keep squeezing thumb to thumb. Inhale, come up high on your toes and then shift forward into plank. So if you have to slightly readjust your feet, you can. Come back to that plank pose, top of a push-up. And then come a touch forward to your tippy tippies. Balance there, don't let the belly drop. Take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, knees up or knees down. Slow lower all the way flat to your belly. Release the tops of your feet. Take your hands as wide as your mat for a couple wide cobras. Everything always gets in the way, right? Inhale, rise up, high or low. There you are, Ricardo. Exhale, fold in. 3 more, press into the tops of the feet. Inhale up, shoulders back. Good job, everybody. Exhale, lower. Another cat day today. I've seen Julie's, I've seen Ellen's, now Barb had one go by. Let's lower. 1 more time. Inhale. Mine only came out to get his food. Exhale, come on down. Place your hands flat alongside your rib cage. Tuck your toes. Either come to all fours or straight up to plank and back to downward facing dog. So down dog, it's always a good check-in point. It's a good place to find your breath, your alignment, your focus. Inhale, come up on your toes. Bend your knees, look forward, step or lightly hop to the top of your space. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Surya A couple of times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, long spine. Exhale, step back, plank. Inhale, shift to tippy toes. Exhale, chaturanga, keep squeezing thumb to thumb, lower slow. Inhale, and exhale. So especially because we might try an arm balance later today, really focus on your hands, your arm strength during your chaturangas. Are you squeezing in? Are you hugging your elbows in? Are you keeping your core tight? I know that's not your arms, but that's always key. Inhale up on your toes. Bend your knees, look forward. Step or hop to the top of your space. Inhale. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale, engage the core to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. And again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe step the funky opposite foot back to plank, the one you don't always step with. I know it's hard. Lower, chaturanga. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing. Do you guys always step back with the same foot? Because I know I do. I try to tell myself to switch it up, but you get into the groove and you forget. Inhale, come up on your toes, and really it's not life or death. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, rise. We have our patterns. Exhale, hands to heart. We're gonna go one more full round of Surya A. Inhale, however you like. If you like to jump back, forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, step or float. Lower chaturanga if you haven't. Inhale, take a nice big back bend. Exhale, downward facing. Nice bar. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose. Maybe you touch your face. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step your right foot forward by your right thumb. Let your left knee come down. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Good, so we're getting a stretch in the front of the left hip. Guys, look good, nice Donna. Good, Julie. Good, Ricardo. Lengthening up through your side body, filling up through your back ribs. Cactus your arms. Take an inhale. And exhale, little twist to your right. So without turning your hips, just turn your torso. A nice squeeze of the lats for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to center. Release your hands to the mat. Pick your left knee up. Pick your left thigh up nice and high. And twist open to your right. Right arm up. So easy twist here. We do it all the time. You can have your left hand on a block. Keep hugging your right hip back, your left thigh high. And then stretch your top arm up and over your ear. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Draw your belly in. Take one more breath. On your exhale, right hand comes down, right leg straightens out. And then you can adjust your left foot as you like. I like to keep a really long stance with my left heel up. With If you like to shorten it or put your heel down, you can. Inhale, lengthen. We're mostly going for the stretch in the front leg at this point. Fold forehead to shin. Hug your right hip back. The inside of your right foot rooting down. One more breaths here. Opening up the back of the right leg. There he is. Okay. Thanks for coming out to say hi. Inhale, look forward. Step your left foot up to meet your right. Come 2 feet hip distance and parallel. Check it out. Inhale. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to take a little easy standing twist here. So it's just going to be the torso. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, right arm back, left arm forward. So as easy as that, your hips stay facing forward, just getting a little twist through the back. Arms are spread. Maybe you're not twisting as far as you like, but try not to let those hips go with you. For 4, draw the belly in, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms up through center, Urdhva Hasta, and exhale, other side. Left arm back, right arm forward. I don't have quite as much range on this side. So you don't want your left hip is going to want to pull back. So keep pulling your left hip forward and your right hip back, belly in. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold, flow through your vinyasa. Oh my God, he's right in the middle of the mat. This is what I said. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or float it back. Try to run down. Oops, sorry. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing. He's used to this by now. Okay, guys. Inhale, lift your left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to your nose, maybe give it a little kiss if you can get it up there. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale with control, left foot steps forward, right knee comes down, Anjaneyasana on your inhale. Feel the stretch in your right hip flexor. Get that length in the side body. You're gonna need it when you twist. Soften your shoulders. Thank you. Cactus your arms. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist to your left. He's back to the food. Good. So keep pulling the belly back and in. Keep trying to get that mid-back twist. I know it's hard to just access those muscles or those parts of that part of your spine. Inhale, come back to center. Really nice, Donna. Exhale, hands to the mat. Pick up your right knee. We'll twist to the left. Give yourself enough space left to right. And then twist open. So feel free to move your right hand as much to the right as you need to feel a good stretch. Keep moving your shoulders back, especially the right one. For 4. Top arm can come up and over. 3, 2, 1. Let the left hand come down and straighten out through your left leg as much as you can. Adjust your right foot as you like. Inhale and exhale. My cat prefers when I play music, and I can't play music when I do this. I haven't figured it out yet. From here, inhale, look forward. Step your right foot up to meet your left, feet hip distance and parallel. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, new and different. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. And then make sure your feet are at least hip distance, maybe a touch wider. Bring your left hand down underneath your face, so make a little triangle with your feet. Even use a block. Bend your left knee and twist open to the right. So left knee has a little soft bend, and we take a little twist toward our right. So again, just building on the twist theme. Shoulders back, keep shifting weight toward the front of your feet. Stay here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your twist. Just bend your right knee also. So your right knee and your left knee are bent like chair. We're gonna rise up facing toward the right. So it's gonna be like a little open arm chair twist. So your torso come up, keep looking right, keep hips looking forward. Good job, everybody. Stay for 4. Maybe you could sit deeper, dry your belly in 3, 2. That's gonna be the trickiest thing I think I do all day. 1, inhale, chair pose, both arms up. Exhale, flow through vinyasa. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or float it back. We'll meet at down dog. Remember, chaturanga, squeeze thumb to thumb, squeeze elbows in. Same with cobra. From your downward facing dog, inhale, lift your right leg up and open up through the hip. So take these few breaths to do what feels good to you. Take the bend out of your elbows. Hug your left hip back in toward the midline. Inhale, level off your hips. Exhale, step forward, warrior 2. Right foot up between your hands, left heel spins flat. We rise. And just take a moment, realign your feet if you need to, settle into your space. Torso's over your hips, everything's open here, no twisting's going on. Just lengthening through the thighs, through the arms. Breath is still flowing. Inhale, flip your front palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, come back up through center. Parsvakonasana side angle, hinging forward. Maybe forearm to thigh or grab your block. Make sure your right foot's still facing forward. Keep scooping your right sit bone down and back towards your left heel. Rolling your shoulders back and open. Maybe top arm up and over the ear if you haven't already. Optional. For 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, just bring your left arm back up to the sky. If you brought it down, we're coming straight into triangle pose. So all you should really have to do is straighten out through your right leg. You may have to shorten your stance slightly or move your back block back slightly toward your heel. And then you're there. And then we continue to hold now with straight legs. Still peeling open, still drawing the right sit bone toward the left heel, rooting the outside edge of the left foot into the mat. Top arm if you want, up and over your ear or half bind if it's getting tiring to hold that arm up there forever. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, stretch your left arm back up. And exhale into Prasarita Padottanasana A, wide leg forward fold to the left. So you're gonna just pivot all 10 toes to face the left side of your mat. Feet are either parallel or pigeon-toed, so not turned out, either maybe a little turned in. And then hang out here. Bring your weight a little more forward, just like in Uttanasana. Let your head and neck go. It's very nice, Barb. Good job, everybody. Julie, so nice. Head is resting on the mat. Stay here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up onto your hands and lengthen your spine. And then bring your right hand underneath your face. So we're gonna take another little twist. Inhale your left arm up to the sky, to the left, to the back of your space. And then if you feel like your hips are really pressing to the left after you enjoy that for a moment, try to shift them slightly back toward the right, engage your core. Stay for 4. We're twisting, weight shifting forward, belly's drawing in. 3, 2, 1. Let that left hand come down. Inhale, keep the length in your spine and walk back toward the front of the room. And set up for lizard pose. So right foot's gonna move more to the right. Coming down onto your forearms, maybe just dropping the left knee down for a break. Hug your right hip back. We'll take a couple breaths here in lizard, opening up into the right hip, left hip flexor. Make sure you haven't just dumped your left thigh down toward the mat. So keep a little engagement, maybe poke the butt up a little bit more than you are used to, just so you don't overstretch. Keep breathing. One more inhale. And exhale. Everybody come back up onto your hands. Keep them on the inside of your right foot. Pick your left knee up and then step forward into Malasana. So left foot steps outside of the left hand. You're in a little froggy yoga squat. Toes out, heels in. Stay here and breathe. Press your palms together. Press your knees wide. Draw your navel in. We'll take a little stretch for the upper body, right arm out to the right, connected to the inside of your right leg. Open your left arm and take a little twist open toward the left. For 4, if you like a half bind, take a half bind. 3, take a full bind if you're that open. 2, 1. One day we'll do a class about binding hands to your heart, and I'll tell you to bring your strap and all that good stuff. Stretch your left arm out to the left. Open your right arm up. Take the stretch on this side. Keep the resistance against the left arm and leg. And then imagine that the right leg has that same thing. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands back to your heart and then come to Uttanasana, forward fold. Heel toe your feet back to hip distance. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, so all that jazz, side 2. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Stay here. I'm going to take that twist open to the left. Plant your right hand. Maybe use a block. Bend your right knee and twist to the left. So left leg is straight for now. Arms are separated. Belly's drawing in. We're twisting. Right hip, pull it back. Stay for left hip, for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bend your left knee in line with your right. Sit back like you're sitting into chair. Transfer some weight back towards your heels and come up into that open arm chair twist. So good, you guys. So maybe check your knees. If your right knee jutted way out in front of your left knee, pull it back. Belly in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, both arms up, full chair. Really nice, Donna. Good, good, Julie. Good, Ricardo. Forward fold. Chair is the worst. Inhale. Exhale, back through a vinyasa. Focus on your chaturanga arms. We'll meet at down dog. Nice, Tara. Inhale, lift your left leg and open your hip. And take what you need. Keep squeezing those arms. Keep wrapping the upper arms back. Inhale, level off your hips. Exhale, step forward into warrior 2. Take your time, place your feet. We all know our old friend warrior 2. Try to level off your hips. It's interesting, I don't usually get to see the back. I gotta push that back hip out. Good. And breathe here, soften your shoulders. Move your right thigh back as you scoop your left side of your butt down. Inhale, flip your front palm. Exhale, take your reverse. Inhale, come back up through warrior 2. Exhale into side angle. Uttanasana, so Parva means side, right? So handy dandy Sanskrit note. You can place your block, or bring your hand all the way to the mat. See you guys, nice. Good, Donna, nice with the half bind. So yeah, you can extend your top arm up and over your ear. If you prefer half bind, you can half bind. Both are good. Check in with your right leg. Did your right side hop forward? Can you draw it back? And at the same time, bend your left knee and pull the left side of your sit bone towards your right heel. Keep breathing. Engage your core. And then take your right arm up to the sky. Firm in the feet. Straighten out through the left leg. Make any subtle adjustments you need to, whether it's moving the right foot in or gliding the block back. And then you're in triangle pose, Trikonasana. Finding extension in all directions. Play with the top arm if you want. So if we were doing binds, obviously I'd have you do a lot of the half binds, but that's your choice today. One more inhale. And exhale, unwind yourself into a wide leg forward fold towards your right. Just check that both feet are basically on the same line. And let's just go right into the twist on this side. So we'll bring our left hand underneath your face, shift some weight toward the front of your feet, and inhale your right arm up to the sky. Stay here, draw your belly in, and then enjoy the right hip butting out to the right, and then slowly bring it back to the center for 4, 3, 2, 1, let the right hand come down. Inhale, lengthen and walk back toward the front of the room. We'll come into lizard on this side, back knee up or down. Forearms, if you can, even forearms on blocks is a good way to go. And then we'll stay here for a few breaths. Good, everybody. Okay, so from here, come back up onto your hands. Keep your hands to the inside of your left foot and step up into Malasana. So right foot steps up wide. So we're in Malasana, which you are, you could stay in, I don't know what word I was looking for. You could stay in Malasana, or we could try crow pose. So you're going for crow, you all know crow. You gotta bring your feet closer together, because I prefer you to go for the elbows into the armpits rather than squeezing the outside of your arms, unless that's the only way you can do it. Plant your hands like chaturanga arms. That's why we've been talking about chaturanga. Squeeze thumb to thumb, squeeze elbows in. And then you get those knees snuggled way up high. You keep all that hugging in. You keep a lot of core engagement. Shifting toward the front of your hands, really pressing into your fingers. Look at those fingertips. Let them just turn white. And then hug it all in and hug it up. And I'm going to watch you. I know most of you can do it nice and all in good. Good job, nice Julie. Go Barb. Go Tara. Go Ricardo. Ellen. Good job, everybody. Nice, Donna. Taking what you need. And when you're done, just take a rest however you like. If it's sitting in Malasana, if it's sitting on your heels, if it's taking a child's pose, if it's taking some water, dip in the pool. No, I don't know, just kidding. I'll give you guys a sec. We're gonna do one more standing sequence. One more big breath wherever you are. I don't want you to get too comfy. And then as you're ready, find your way back up to stand. You can ragdoll it up. You can hop to the top of your mat. Come up to stand, to Tadasana. I know, since we can stand up, you have to fix his tank top, you know. Okay. You're gonna stand on your right foot. I think I'm gonna face you guys. I'm gonna be turning during this. So we'll start standing on the right foot, left knee up in front. So just find your balance here first. Try to make sure your hips are level. Your belly's in, spine is long. We're gonna twist to the left. So right arm to the outside of the left leg, left arm back. You could stay here with the bent knee, or you can reach your right hand, try to get the outside of your left foot and stretch the leg forward. So either way, find a twist, standing on the right leg with the left leg extended. Right, belly is drawing in, hips are still forward for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Keep the left leg lifted. Bring your hands to your heart. Let's reestablish your balance. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward into warrior 3. Extend that left leg back. If you need to bend your standing leg to help with the balance, please do that. That's usually what I do. And try to hug your right hip back and drop your left hip toward the mat. Stay for 4. Think long in the spine. 3, 2. We're going to exit into crescent on 1. Bend your right knee, step your left foot way back. Inhale, crescent. And then get nice and high on the ball of the back foot. Sink deep into the right knee. Take a couple breaths. Reconnect front body to back body. Get that lift through the back side of your rib cage. Get down a nice. For 4, 3, 2. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, hinge forward. And this time twist to your right. So left elbow across, prayer twist. You can have your back toe lifted, or if you like to put that back foot flat, you could do that. Any arm variations I'm good with, separating the arms. I'm even good with bringing the left hand back to the inside of the right foot and dialing it down a notch. Wherever you are, stay for 4. Keep lifting the back thigh, keep lifting the belly. 3, shoulders away from the ears. 2, 1. Release your hands to your mat. Step back, plank pose. Flow through a vinyasa or go straight to down dog. Vinyasa might feel good now. I feel like the cobra pose stretches the top of the hip a little bit. And then downward facing. Inhale, lift your right leg, so that same leg that was forward before. Exhale, step your right foot forward, high lunge, and then shorten your stance for Tanasana, pyramid pose. So left foot steps in, both legs are straight now. Right toes are facing forward, left toes are facing up toward the top left corner of your mat. And then we lengthen the spine and fold in. Look at you guys, you stay folded. Really good. So just feel like someone's coming. I've got my hand in your right hip crease, drawing your right hip crease back. Keep drawing your belly in. Nice, Julie. Lengthening through your spine. Everybody inhale, lengthen, look forward. Walk your hands a little bit forward. Come to a standing split on your right leg. Left leg lifted. Keep hugging the right hip back. Left toes are facing toward the mat. I'm going to take 3 little Shiva squats. Inhale here. Exhale, cross your left knee behind your right. Take a little squat. Inhale, stretch the left leg back. Exhale, squat. Inhale, lengthen. This time on your squat, pause. Both knees are bent. Left knee's curled behind the right. And then sit all the way down into Ardha Matsyendrasana. So when you sit, hopefully you landed with your right foot crossed over your left thigh, your left heel curled in, and if that's not good for you at this point, you can stretch your left leg out. I'm gonna take a twist to the right, so right fingers behind you. Inhale, left arm up to the sky. Exhale, twist to your right. Let that left elbow either come across or grab on with the crook of the elbow. Don't sacrifice the length in your spine just because you feel like you have to get the elbow across. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, pull your shoulders back. Twist your spine to the right. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Unwind. We're going to make our way back up to standing somehow. So place your hands down. Unwind your legs. Come into a forward fold. And then slowly up to stand. couldn't think of a fancy way to get out of it, so that's what we're doing. Okay, last side. Standing on your left foot, right knee up in front. So first just get this and stand tall, lengthen through your spine, make sure that your left side and poked forward, that you're standing tall. And then we'll take the twist, left hand comes across, right arm goes back. You can definitely reach for your right foot if that's in your practice. Keep standing tall, stay for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Bring your hands to your heart, regroup, stand tall, inhale. Exhale, hinge forward, warrior 3, sending that right leg back, back, back. And then pause when you get to warrior 3. Lengthen your sternum forward as much as you're stretching your right heel back. Make sure you have a nice long neck, your head isn't drooping. For 4, belly in, 3, 2, 1. Step back to crescent, bend your left knee deep, step your right toes way back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Take a moment to settle in. Make sure you have enough space left to right so you can balance. Right, because you know the twist is coming. Hands to your heart. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, twist to the left. Try to snuggle the right elbow across and bring hands into prayer. Again, all those other options are good, whether it's modifying or trying to advance it. Doing a half bind or a bind, I don't know. For 4, keep drawing belly in. 3, shoulders down. 2, 1. Release your hands. Take a vinyasa or skip it. We'll meet at down dog. Okay, so from here, inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Step the right foot in about 1/3 of the way. Tanasana, pyramid pose. Just a tighter stance than the one we do at the beginning of class. Feel that thumb coming into your left hip crease. Pulling it back, whether it's imaginary or you do a manual adjustment on yourself. And then enjoy the stretch. Both legs are straight. Both feet are firmly rooted. Inhale, gaze forward. Come to standing split. Walk your fingers forward. Float your right leg to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, little Shiva squat to the left. Both knees are bent. Right knee crosses behind. Inhale, stretch the right leg up. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, stretch the right leg up. And exhale, squat. And pause, and then sit. All the way down. All right, just readjust any way you need to. Make sure your left foot is planted. And then left fingers behind. Inhale, right arm up to the sky. Exhale, twist to the right. Again, pick your poison. If this means this, we don't do that. We want to sit upright. Good. And then breathe through it. Inhale for length. And exhale to twist. 1 more breaths. One more inhale when you're ready. And exhale, unwind to center. This time, just stay seated and cross your legs. If you need to give them a little shake, give them a little shake. And we're going to come to Navasana, boat pose here. So just a little extra core. Sitting into your boat, your knees can be bent or your legs can be straight. Collarbones are broad. You guys all have it. We all know this one. If you wanted your fingertips down, you could have your fingertips down. You're going to just go down and up 4 times, so make them good. Inhale, lower. Nice relief. Exhale, come on up. Good bar. If you guys sit down and lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. One more time, lower. And lift and hold it up. Draw your knees in a little bit closer to you. And then tip your knees towards your right. And take your arms to your left, like your hands are pressing onto the mat, right? So this is just a quick, easy side crow posture, right? So we're gonna do it in a minute. So this is what it looks like. Your knees are going one way, your hands are going the other way. Okay, let's go to the other side. Knees through center, knees to the left, arms to the right. So the left arm is touching the outside of the right leg, but the right arm is not. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Place your feet down on the mat. Take your hands, come from the outside of your shins, wrap your hands under, so I'll face you. Come through the middle, hold on to the front of opposite shins, and just take a stretch. Okay. And then let's all come up to stand. I'm not sure which way I'm gonna face. I'm gonna face the front of my mat. Okay. Let's come to chair pose. Sit low, reach high. We'll take a twist to the left first, just for demonstration purposes, even though I'm pretty sure all of you have done this pose. So chair twist to the left, right elbow across, hands into prayer. So sit low, keep twisting your torso to the left. Make sure that your right hip is pulling back. Your knees are in line. And then from here, sit all the way down to your heels. Stay in the twist. Your heels can come up. And we'll try for side crow. So it's that same setup, right? Like when we were just in Navasana. Your right arm is connected to the outside of your left leg. You may have to adjust where your feet are a little bit. Your hands are planted like chaturanga arms. You hug elbows in. You shift forward, and maybe you stop. Maybe you don't want to pick your feet up. Maybe your left elbow's winging way out to the left, and you need to hug it in. And then maybe feet can come up. So I know I like to try to make it look easy, but I know most of you have at least tried this before. This is definitely class goes beyond basics plus flow. I don't know, but I know all you guys. Okay. Nice, Barb. Okay, I guess we'll do the other side and get it done. Okay, come back up to stand. Let's do the left side. And then we're down, I promise, stretching the whole rest of the way. So chair twist on your right. Sitting low into chair. Pulling the hands through heart center and twisting to your right. So left elbow comes across. And maybe you stay here, you just want to separate your arms, play with your chair twist. Or sit all the way down to your heels. Release your hands over toward the right, so the outside of your left arm connects to the outside of your right leg. And then it's just like normal crow, Bakasana. This is Parsva Bakasana. You shift your weight into your front of your hands. Really press down with the fingers. You really hug the elbows in. And then give it a play. Nice, good, Ellen. That's nice, Barb. Yeah, I mean, you gotta try both sides, right? Because you never know. And then when you're done, have a seat. And then come all the way down onto your back. We're gonna take a couple back bends. So, hope you guys tried it or took it to the places where you wanted to take it. We got really warmed up for a twisting arm balance today, so maybe that helped. Hopefully that helped. Feet hip distance and parallel. And then as you're ready, we'll find our bridge pose, lifting the hips, direct your tailbone toward the back of your knees, get a little squeezing of the butt, it's fine. And then maybe clasping the fingers or pinching the outside edges of your mat. Breathe here. One more inhale. Exhale, make your way down if you haven't already. And then just take a moment. We'll do another 1 or 2 back bends, so just rest. Usually after the side pose like that, we probably have more of a break in the classroom, maybe even just playtime to go to the wall and get it all out. But it's hard with Zoom to know what kind of space people have, so. Okay, let's do another back bend. It's kind of nice to be lying down after all that. We were up for a long time. So either a bridge, if Urdhva is in your practice and you want one of those, you could take a full wheel, you could throw a block underneath you and call it a day, or another bridge. Any variations. Back bends are really important to our practice. And because they reverse that curve of the spine, right? So from any hunching that's going on during the day, we're trying to reverse that. We stand up tall. They're also an energizing, heart-opening pose, so good for morning practice. One more breath in. Exhale, slowly release. We're gonna take one more. So rest and decide, and if you're on the block already, just enjoy. A couple of you with your legs up to the sky, that looks really nice. Oh, now I got 3. Okay, one more back bend or stay where you are. I'll take a wheel for good measure so somebody does it. Here we go. You guys all have your legs up, almost. Oh, okay. Wherever you are, last 4, 3, 2, last inhale, and exhale, slowly lower if it's a bridge. If you're on the block, lift your hips. Take yourself off the block, and then everybody take your feet as wide as your mat. For a moment, let your knees knock together. Just neutralize your spine, bring back the natural curves. And then from here, keep your feet this wide, separate your knees, and let both knees drop to the right. So hips are up, knees are wide, so it's not really a full twist, it's kind of more of an open twist. If you like to bring your right ankle up onto your left knee in this position because it enhances the stretch for you, you can. If another way to feel more is probably to move your Left foot a little more to the left. Make sure that your left knee and hip are in line. You can add arms overhead. Right hand takes left wrist. Stay for a few more breaths. One more inhale. And exhale your knees up through center. Switch to the other side. Knees go to the left. And then just sort of eyeball the right knee is in line with right hip, is in line with right shoulder. If you're doing the arms, left hand takes right wrist like a little bracelet. Stretch long. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Hug your knees in, and we're going to take a few rolls and come up to seated. So rocking up and down, nice and easy. And then seated, stretch your legs straight out in front of you. We'll take a seated forward fold. So Paschimottanasana, sitting up tall. You can gently wrap your inner thighs back. Stretch your arms up. And on an exhale, lengthen as you fold. Reach for what you can get is what I always say. So you can be holding your feet. You could use a strap. You could put a block out in front of your feet. You could rest your head on a block. A few more breaths. Let the inhales create length. The exhales fold you in, nice cooling position. Inhale, look toward your toes. Peel yourself up and back down onto your backs. We'll come back to that figure 4 from where we started class. So right ankle on top of left knee. And then option to go a little deeper here. You can stay with traditional thread the needle, or you could go for a baby cradle if your hips welcome that. So you would take your right leg into your hand. You take the sole of your right foot into your left bicep. Cradle your leg. Your head could even rest on a block at this point, or come down to the mat. And then if you can, extend your left leg forward. Your right foot is trying to lift, and at the same time, you're trying to pull your right shin closer toward your torso. Baby cradle, or just thread the needle. Stay here, a couple more breaths. Keep pressing you're pulling your shin towards you. You're still pushing your right hip forward. One more breaths. One more inhale. And exhale if you're in the baby cradle. Set your ankle back down on top of your knee. And then we'll switch sides. Actually, let's do something before we switch sides. Stretch your left leg out straight and just bring your right leg into like a tree position. So just let that right hip open before we go to the other side. Especially if you were in the baby cradle, that was a pretty tight hip opener. So we'll just give that hip just a couple breaths. Okay, now we'll do the other side. Okay, so come back to center, rebend both knees, take your right ankle up, your left ankle up on top of your right knee. You can start with your thread the needle and then decide, oh yeah, I could probably do a little bit more, or no way, this is plenty. So if you're going for the baby cradle, it's the sole of the left foot into the right bicep. You cradle the shin, and you can rock your baby, right? Each side is a little different. Maybe one side is significantly tighter or more open. It's like you're lifting your foot up and you're lifting your left hip forward, but at the same time, you're drawing your shin closer to your chest. Stay here for a few more breaths because we definitely stayed for a little while on the first side. You can wiggle it around a little bit, take what you need. Let's take one more inhale. And then exhale for a moment, set your baby back down onto its cradle if you were baby cradling it. And then extend the right leg long, bring the sole of the left foot to the right inner thigh, like a supine tree pose. Take a couple breaths. One more inhale. And exhale. And then hug your knees in. And we'll take one final supine twist. So your twist of choice. So you can cross your knees, you can stack your knees, you can hug one knee in at a time. I'm going to go for the cross because you guys know I like that. So I'm going to go right knee over left, hips move to the right, knees drop to the left. And then we'll stay here for a few breaths. If you're all twisted out and you need something else, you could do that too. Will be our final pose before Shavasana. A couple more breaths. One more inhale. And exhale, slowly up through center. Unwind if you have any legs crossed. If you're gonna take the second side, left knee over right, or your variation. Twist to your right, extend your left arm. Softly breathe into it. Not too much efforting here or at the end. Take one more inhale. And exhale, slowly unwind back into center. Hug your knees in. And then any last movements, if you haven't taken them yet, please do. After the twist, it's nice to just unwind the legs, rock a little side to side, or maybe take a happy baby. And start to think about how you want to spend your Shavasana. Do you want to stay on your backs or take it to a wall, legs up the wall, or sit in a meditation seat? All right, we'll have about 3 minutes, 3 to 5, but we'll see in Shavasana. So start to make your way there. I know it's hard to be in stillness and in quiet sometimes, but it's so good for us if we can do it. Just try to let everything melt. Close your eyes. Let go of the thoughts. And rest, Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Start to reinvite movement into your body. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Gently move your head from side to side. As you're ready to take a deeper stretch, reach your arms up over your head. Stretch long from end to end, fingertips to toe tips. And then gather your knees in and either take a moment to roll to one side in fetal pose. Rest your head on your arm. Or just make your way up to a comfortable seat, which is where we'll meet. So take your time, take a few breaths on your side, and then gently press up to seated. Close your eyes or keep your eyes closed if you can. Sit up nice and tall. And all together, one big deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, send it out. Gather your hands together at heart center, sealing in your practice. Gently bow your chin toward your heart in a gesture of gratitude toward yourselves, your yoga practice, and the yogis around you. Thank you all so much for coming out and sharing your practices with me this morning. I love seeing all of you guys on Saturday. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you soon. Namaste. And if you want to unmute, you can unmute. I'm gonna end this recording.